omo opposition no sorry no kasa
no bubu bebe
na presidential advisor on economy and finance ura setepe oyi
oh then no me budget say no ti
na nko no pa so ko atena konwa so pen na wonya kwan akọ opposition na ka o masa ba o ya advisor de ka this time o think yet nka e wo nyoma bi hu ne ade na so ni nyina hu nte nyoma ekoso na abripa mu no ebe pp pa boboba na budget ni mu nsam de you see em say Professor Bodiba Bɛkyerɛ budget bia no ubenya nioma eye kakra ewo mu ubenya bi nso a enye nti so de to sonye na o hwa ka ebi a we ni we de nkeye na we ni we nemum ne ya de o say ye say ne ye mum no
say don so be esin de enye no
especially the NDC as a party ne omo say de baby omo free nsema omo kekai when they were in opposition na na omo aban mu ni mu nsensem but unfortunately no just say nyani omo kai ni bibebere na yehu for example ufa omo manifesto a omo de social contract no omo we na omo yi bi omo say Mohammed's first 120 days social contract with the people of Ghana no mo ko launching wo Winneba fe na ufa omo 120 days that's the first 4 months no mo yo so mbeye ba ko ne dimu pa eya na so eye ema sabi omo so mbebie bank amama okay na omo che say omo ba first 4 months there omo beti sa bank no I mean people ebi mo ka say your mass logo ha ema support so and say omo other small support omo de ma ema even as in bank omo support until why say also create another bank bia LCA development bank sa also do bebo ama so because market women here omo nyina omo come maslok na kwaliska so maslok so over the years eboa obi enye ade a ukọ sales ka ko bi office asa ko pe baby fufuro bi o ne ayi bia diskana ka be bi new bank no ana o bank ma maslok na ka maslok fanye and this one tiase mso mo de bank no na Agyei nana ono ba obidim obeli bibia first 4 months o mo promise yi ya hwa kone ni ma kwa ntihwe eno mbe ready budget o mo so o mo de sika bi okay the first budget
51 million
1 million at least the idea is so wonke you better say bia at least o ma bi bank no office impo because of course 51 million premium bank but at least omunti office bi yam secretariat because say bank nipa na be ho adwuma na o ma bodin bi a hanabi hanabi su ana obi and for my bebre bi ana jifatega yese dia sha wonsa ohweso maye ne ade nyina up to now yentehwe enti hwe sika omu yeso mu de be first budget a year omu de 2 year up to now ya ntonhwe ene uhwe mu new budget ya omu kokoye ya almost as ade asa be shemu say almost allocate 401 million bia omu de kwako bie sa bank no so you ask yourselves
ti da be no baby alin ka first 51 million mo fancy amany office no
yes
na mo siesie mu nya bibia na so kan what is secretariat Daasebre ka 400 diba
straight there ko Bank of Ghana at least the sigman because who yes ke be do say no nanka watch out here nanka industries ni companies on bia on person so be bo am say bia on be contribution na bibi na makope loan bi o ba bia na ka makope ana so bi be cheba aban ska na ka wuri akakoshim yentehwe up till now
nya office no to be ma se bank ase
miwa kohwe speaker Professor Jenana Agyei ewo UPSA. You'll be shocked about what she said about Women's Bank. Echere ma bra omubre edwom ko ne hu sensem masno go hoda dawo it's not as if bibia anyone can be marketer for them na so mo create impression be say eno ne the panacea
the ban bi
mada eya di papa e di dada ko dwom na bia na ma me no so na bia odwom bia na ne nsema ona o ka no up to now yente ho hwe yen obia ye say hwe mfa no eno masako bie this kakoye so the expectation okay. So what do we expect? Sikano ampase the 400 million. Go find and say it's 400 million yeah. Omsoma locating, which is not likely some moving ground be releasing in Ampon because of history. The Kobasi the Kobakrampa or some will be TB could be secretariat, could be offices. Go bank and fire me bank where oh. I hear now the back too because the minimum threshold them say sky here be a bank and so 400. Enti usha na adanko dada abi any baby ana
nje ko bi bank ni na unya de ese odi bie na requirement na 400 na de na de beboa e ma no
enene asamsebe so unti you can see say no kofi na da bi wo baby what you say hwe NDC ebeko 2024 elections one of their major campaign message. In fact, and the flagship because we don't make be almost 133. Okay, it's advert. One advert.
Yeah.
So because we use Kakwa bank and I do
too. Oh, let's say you ko yi pa
24-hour economy. Okay.
Yeah. Na too ko yi ska.
They are major you say adwuma baako. Nipa miensa na beye. Na ombeko no 3 shifts.
Nti tabia nipa odwuma ho
ye bia bu adwuma ho ye adwuma. Aban adwuma ene ayi. Ena omu hwe nso mu ba omu 120 days omu di shame. In fact, President Mahama Krea kasa na achievement. The 4 months achievement on Ghana for kasa. Oboso.
Yeah.
So wa set secretariat wa wadanfo guzita no. Edano. Echirechirem adwuma o maye ene hu nsensem kansem bebre Bɛkyerɛ. Na obekaya ura guzita no kasa wiye no oka bibi also some betimi I implement 133 and 24-hour economy policy ni ye pa omubehia 4 billion
news kaketura
okay because 133 na 24-hour you know mo promise here no na nye but I say kita kwado say to kwa fumu kra utima kona najo
say ombeto ayi anajo hakani ana abubo mu maso so make light akonkrofo fumu say wodwene ho awon dia say hey endizibo
wa dia say chese kikan sem bebre nti enim say NDC abai die omde a show mu so first 4 months omati secretariat President Mahama ne Ghana for abedin koma wa kire so say no bibia da nakwan mu was obe start 24-hour ayi ne die ye wie kura ewie ye because adwuma sam ade a na ehia manfo nti ma nipa bebre adwen ko di akire say so bi ba na so be ma adwuma ba ko nipa miensa na be dia
nti say yo say ya ka say adwuma nipa be say 100 ne wo adwuma mu a say be nya nipa 300 200 abeka ho
the same job 3 people 3 shifts na omuba ye no omti secretariat omso mba implementing form because nyoma mo so mba ye no okuhwe omto 24-hour economic policy ni grandpa omde ba na me nyoma bebre omso mba ye no na ye adwuma na NPP for start ya omaye mpo dada go for example omo say we dey 24-hour economy no ombema tax waivers say aban company person implement dia ye bema tax free period bia untia tax afi o kra nyoma fra bruchiri ba aban ne be supporto any ade afi so hia meter say ye be ma almost special meters but no represent mama kra po na sa ka so almost special meters on meters na be use no enko ye say nyina meters ye use ebio e be we different and then na say get akaka say ye meter no o betimi
ye obeduma na joa ana jono ni ai mama kanya fofo
okay Sani nyoma mkika so ni nyina ene ho dada because uhwe da gen one district one factory policy na MPP implement na they were giving tax waivers ebi na no mkoma companies bia o ma mpene last minute omo kofa eyi ba so no omo magana for enya tax waiver ya because na parliament na virtually apa ini no omo ntimi am pass what do you say kohwe bisa all the 1 factories are omo here and across the country no bebre they were given special transformers etwa omo kwan ayo ko be factory ni wo ema omo mom dedicated transformers are na ye omo adwuma and so NDC start repackaging differently eba abam kra kofa ora guzita no betra no beka almost the same thing the first budget omo dedicate some sikabi up to now bacho Daasebre me dey jam so am me wan corner mu na mu chini aya akwa boso kan bacho what to say adwuma bi ba akumpo I started 133 policy ana even about adwuma mpo say the private sectors na ke bia because enko parliament ko jim ran tai chirin to mun start mpo a abadwuma bema nipa miensa adwuma baako
bi ena ofozi kwa chimu ka se beton we chenyi anajo ebo fufu anajo ya mi no se beton otwen ne enkrante okuma se kwa so ye wibi anu kwa de se nke nya parliamentary approval dabi so fufu anajo na wo ton we cha anajo na wo ton krante ne otwen mo se ne nke nya parliamentary approval so stay omuntimi start
this a mo mpo parliament ko mo fa amran po nko san no e na o ma what kind of on be launch policy say is a passport e no 24 hours okay I'm say DVLA license e 24 hours okay
can me kaipa
but the main focus and I say proper na sit at 24 hour economy say nipa benye djuma ya na me boa
nothing
also open it is what any page on be na no pa wi anwumra
na 24 hour na also
ya also we open the passport go passport go happen to be go am for grand koje and I go print okay
any pa na me jana
it is so print no enya what is passport of the master adwuma bia so mu de on be adwuma ebi mu ya na no pa no on be adwuma bia awia aba adwuma bia na jo he say e na da na eya na audu ne minister etaka say qnet aban e na omo ne eti kwemu na ne hu ene say so ufa mu budget here they are touting say ampa inflation above from cedi ejina no kure cedi no mo baaye no ejina no kure inflation above from but omo kra ampo omo say another fourth republic apart from 2010 Dr. Dufo as finance zanya single digit inflation ebisi aban bia mu da ayam tro the NPP administration 2018-2019 enya single digit inflation these things are available Bank of Ghana website finance ministry website statistical department you can't lie about it but these people will tell us say
we see that
when say NPP abem until say COVID and then now I feel magia to say COVID affected the economy fantastic they never believe that now COVID now must say affect any Russia Ukraine war Russia ka ya funto kwa krampo no omo ho nanye Ghana and the magia to say Russia Ukraine war any COVID nonsense seminar there affected on my way mebwa but in spite of nina no 2017-2018 NPP administration under Nana Addo Akufo-Addo never increased utility tariffs.
President Dwamena so babe mo betting in Kenya in Subos.
Oh, Daasebre. O medumane yef. Memre 2017. PURC reduces electricity tariffs 17.5% for homes and 30% for businesses. But Obibia or Datu can go to PLC website and at Google cry and Google me lecture be who's going to say own change assignment because but you can ask your friend who my friend grow you can Google it NPP about 2017 any 2018 almost nkanea eni nsuo ebo so mane ba fom omo antum the data is available nanso NDC buy but on nkanea 1 year kwa mai in the next day no munya 1 year na meboa nkane a o matum premium as premium sa 14% nsuo o matum ne so to kane a se bia 100 cedi can who say you are not work to 100 there
but you 100
in fact you 100 sa what you say nsuo so sa o etika de enim se ka ban bia ba at least first year the good will no because aban for aba investment be person ba be try aban no what I say nti sika ba kakra ma o man for hu han na wo ba first year mpo
na wo
mia mu tunsuo because you so ne kane ade e yo bibia won te so untum o so amagana for hu han how na aban bi ba in the first 2 years 2019 kura mpo na eko 2020 ni mu no ne ko ba say covid ba no o chensio free ne wa let it kura mpo ebi mo anya no free
sio kenya free
am say after covid ni nyoma no na nyoma started say sesa a eko ba say na fe o say Ghana for nso eboa ekushi economy a eko so a ekodu ba bi a nyoma ekosi de nense say nke ba so a ekosi ye nyinai. So and yet something strange. Say be aban beba no beti light so. In fact 2017 crampo there and this for a press conference. March 15th. Say oh nsone ya beba NDCMP for Bungo on my address say nsone kan ya aban na atete no kra no ehun hia. So aban bit me so even if it was for even a year boy pa na wa ban wa ba wo so reset ni o me koyi se bibia ye no nkane ani nsuo mum kwa na e koso but you see Daasebre there is something happening unim say oye no o say omo ready budget yi omo say o omo increase taxes bia say they are going to create jobs na how say omo create jobs no so no omo be san so taxes say wo no kwa no omo de bi because omo yi COVID levy na any ade na there is no new taxes ebeba okay in this year budget year after Ghana for nyina ati but you see the NDC has a history 2025 omo budget omo kan ye no they said bibi about energy sector energy yankania ne debt fuel sensam no ema last week me be kind wa ha say omo ora to forcing call parliament 2025 yi oko ready the budget in March 11th no we say without increasing the levy we will also review the energy sector levies that is ESLA to consolidate the energy debt recovery levy energy sector recovery delta fund and sanitation and pollution levy into one levy and use the proceeds to cater for the energy sector shortfalls and service the inherited debt service obligation. Nti say ESLA energy sector and then recovery obibia no omuntum without increasing it no o meka ni nyina bom amana is simple no mda kotua ekaeda anyinam nkane aho sensem tano beka che match owie no wantwema made a term mpo July one ko reading ne budget review no mpo e no de dum so levy by okay
once the per liter of fuel
to top petrol 1 gallon bia na utua 4 cedi 50 pesos that's okay
I say nice essence you ko
omu twa ntro kire say was without increase I'm quoting him without increasing the levy owie no kofa bibi esa be jiska Ghana for
you dey buy kwa na chair dey obey free ho no
fantastic
also top petrol gallon bia utua 4 cedis 50 pesos
yes
nti fansa wo car we trotro da ba kwa obeto 10 gallons betua 45 cedis so ansa na to car na filling station
yes so
ko film dey chrono dey ma boyi
2025 no be catch you say ontum and so in the end or the levy be by say good no say MPP say MPP why aye time ma obi abso obi antie Ghana for ankasa enya hwe ye fa mo manka ne e gina so am be tua debt ne fuel no there was confusion and to me kind the 2026 budget could redeem no last week and I'm who say there's no new tax or more increase tax biya ade no and who say we are to forcing in paragraph 358 T. Mr. Speaker, Ghana Airport Company Limited will introduce an airport development fee to rehabilitate Sunyani Airport, construct a new airport at Bolgatanga, build a multi-purpose car park, and a connecting concourse between Terminal 2 and 3 at the Kotoka International Airport. Development. Almost say Ghana Airport Company ever introduce airport development fee. But the new tax na mbo create new job that na won kwa na we be free mu na my year because some reform VAT no say no 2025 new moment manya Ghana for kasa ni nyina no o my year 2026 there is development kwa afena economy na yeye okay am say afena economy na yeye pa ebi edu na hodi wom nti tax no kwa no de on be ya ne se bia on be ba ma o ma mu ntua no mu na atia o ti no mu be so mu ya ne simple ma obi na obi atimitia nti there is no new but it was a major headline see I think Times or one of the papers could say no new taxes but sa airport development fee any tax no bia nti bom say sa 2025 adanko da adwe na omde ye no bia sa ba bio we pe am say Kofi akin Kofi nti enche am say no new taxes there ubekom na o makotwe bibia ba say no there's a new tax bio omuni eni nokre nanka abawe ani ebedi nokre pa be ka nokra nanka ade dollar almost say ejina and who sensem ene yebeka meanwhile so fa dollar sensem ya omo eka ho asem ya ene almost say economy no ayeye so okay good economy na ayeye ne dollar ho sensem ya o maka kan the Bank of Ghana issued statement I think on the 11th of November year or so and almost say no Sidi no ejina forget about the fact say almost be catch say Sidi no in fact the Bank of Ghana BOG governor be catch say Sidi appreciation is not engineered but the argument no yen say CD appreciation not artificially influenced. There are two stories. So the opposite say, oh, CD no move fast kabia fi bia emegum. No mamu papa na ma na ho den na papa na economy na ye ni na ma CD na nya ho den. Ukaya. Yeah. Anche na President Mahama kushia ansem trofo ewo Jubilee House. Ni bisa no ho asem CD ho gina ye na. Also BOG has stopped intervening in the forest market. President Mahama say Omni Bank of Ghana Kasa. Because of the rapid appreciation in the value of the cedi, we saw an exponential increase. This is President Mahama in imports because people could buy cheaper dollars and import more. On the other side, exporters are not happy because they could get less cedi for what they export. So we have asked BOG to be intervening in the forest market. So then Kaka BOG governor also got resign. Because I can say artificial idea adechi president say wona na we yes ade no nti ya kacho say jade oyen mewa IMF ne World Bank report ne yi nyina che say ampa say na omo disika ebe hye dollar ni mu etena ma dollar na dey etimi dey ejina mewa nti dey etena na omo twa ntra kire say dollar ni dey ahoden na dey enya na and that uka omo so wa ada na MPP say that's simpler other than MPP but in Chichimwaba say na MPP ntimi nye bi because at the time no omo call World Bank no na ebehia say obepe sika agu o futuom ama anyina akodum pempenso bi ansana so obetimi atachi a why dey what touch and indeed
10 million na onya 9 million ntumi fa nka
dabi
kise onya 10 na awi answer feel onya ba bi agina
and indeed okay to force in the first budget na ogitum say reserve aban nitimi eye ejato ho no na e wosoro 4 months na dollars some say close to 9 billion ayo
and na brown o say answer was I country
and so I ono so e boss but share this is the statement Bank of Ghana issue on 11th November 2025 the title no say Bank of Ghana announces new foreign exchange operations framework so now you say no dollar no nyina e kwa omo be fa so a omo be ye omo jise a omo de aba in paragraph 2 under the new framework the Bank of Ghana FX operations will pursue 3 key objectives. First, the bank will support reserve accumulation to provide buffer against external vulnerabilities. You see, they believe the external vulnerabilities to reserves. The NPP share dollar in my mouth, $99. Second, it will act to dampen excessive short-term volatility in the foreign exchange market, responding to disorderly conditions without undermining exchange rate flexibility. Till the last one. Third, BOD will intermediate FX flows in a market neutral manner, using inflows from sources such as the gold purchase program. Jomakofa Sika free gold purchase program. Sources, under bed, now gold purchase program na by na introduce here. MPP.
Dr. Bawumia no demand bi.
What you say? And if they were sincere, at least they would have given credit to a MPP say, oh, nyame mu no kre. MPP buy no, o ma yede. O ma bo mo modern na program say a o de buy no aboa amana the ejina. What him say? Even DDEP, that exchange program here, MPP are buying here, I didn't send baby buy them. Me feel say a choir or more fast or more, and especially the communication. No, MPP a mistake because so I didn't know yet. But now the pantiasi, so enti ama Ghana for ntimi anya ntumu yie na kwa omo fa so no communication ne akire no so no edu bia na amanfo e kasa no na afi ai se yenti obi anso ai dey asem abem enti ekofa ansem bebere bai but I think it was a necessary evil that to forcing both 2025 2026 budget no oprezi sa DDEP debt exchange program
because every boy now is say when you baby agina
that is why the rating agencies no and now rating agencies na praise Ghana economy say agina anasa Agyei no that is mainly the reason. Now I will prove to you NCDR but who share 2026 budget now we have to force Nico with your budget here paragraph 178 page 2019 with 93.5% of total debt restructured. At first, no. $20.3 billion in domestic bonds, $13.1 billion in Eurobonds, and $5.2 billion all in dollars. So in bilateral loans, Ghana is firmly on a sustainable path. Till with at first, I'm quoting him. 93.5% of total debt restructured and about domestic debt. The omuye enkwa and external debt so 13.1 billion. Any $5.2 billion in bilateral loans no. Say oma restructure ninti no. Ghana is firmly on a sustainable path. In the side, and can you start DDP omuye ya omu restructure we ya. Patoka Ghana and Kayo sustainable debt. Because through this arrangement, you discover the Agyei Ghana. And I can be also you bring here dollars assistant, especially external debt aquacutriano. Yen here says can say Fakukutia, say cano say. What I say? Nina Abwa ama economy na day ejina. In fact, so kind the rating agencies now. Omo report omo dey aba over the years omo mention BDEP say a major achievement abwa ama economy na day ejina. Yes yeni animu. What is say omo bosumpo in praising the past administration for successfully restructuring the debt exchange program nana.
Never.
Fitch ratings. Omu upgrade Ghana's economy to B minus no. I almost say economy now is stable no. I went for a copy of their report. Fitch. Na tire omu ekaye. Share the Fitch report now. In fact, the first page no. See key rating drivers. I say nyoma omu jina so. Edema omude ekase Ghana economy na Agyei eno the kind relationship with commercial creditors na tie or say Ghana has normalized relations with a significant majority of external commercial creditors. Ghana omomude omuka no tie Ghana restructured 13.1 billion euro bonds in October 2024. Who can finance minister ne budget na paragraph 178 on Ghana Aaron Sacha saying 13.1 billion euro bonds dollars me boy and our Fitch report no release June 2025 yimu omo chere say in 2024 Ghana Aaron Sacha ni euro bonds amounting to 13.1 the same amount of finance minister here a boss no it should tell you say I'm passe Ghana restructure this 13.1 billion Fitch account was ma ora to force so a boss on the budget statement in ma and the economy would have been in a different shape. Yes, sir. Okay. Apart from the first commercial year omo boss so omo chese Ghana restructure 13.1 euro bonds in October 2024 no. The second omu jina so edirate economy na Agyei and say debt restructuring near completion. Or say Ghana ratified the memorandum of understanding on restructuring of its bilateral official debts in January 2025 covering $5.1 billion. The same amount at the first boss so 5.2 billion US dollars no. Probably euro bonds 13.1 of boss or Fitch boss. It is as if say Fitch report or issue president MPP are buying say you know my year now my economy na enya nyina so no no so e boss so high ebio no say jina so the ball abai no abaso say past physical slippages declining deficit consistent with Ghana's record large physical slippages in election year no this year 2024 election no deficit dodo ama Zabano moka bebre and say election year no so and on meka manageable debt service obligations and others even crown even the falling debt e can am say abafom no till the Fitch kai or say strong in point paragraph 2 page 2 strong nominal GDP growth, physical consolidation, remaining debt restructuring, and much larger than anticipated exchange appreciation in recent months will contribute to debt falling to 60% of GDP in 2025 and 2026. Almost say because they are restructured debt. Yanka dede I was saying you could try no amano ne Ghana ha. Yes, you ma akwatena se ayen hye se o ma ebre na intimi ma metua ho ka no. Na fe so mudi e ka ne bi kura a cheye ni ntino. Ebe ma ye ka ye de ayede aba fom. Nti na is aba bi bona ho aba so se wa ma e ka aba fom a e aba be de ye. And amasa I come in
Aba.
Why are we enjoying this success? It is because of Abaimi Tinase. Ayen Shishaye say, Yenye ABCD.
Yeah.
And Abuama and Ne Otiso and Faswo. And so if they were even sincere, at least they would have praised Abans. Oh, let's give credit to where credit is due. Say, oh, Ampa Abanya Abasna Tremi. If you only know ABCD and Nenye, for example, Yaka even DDP no, na the papa, and so call mu faso. Ayen na Oma engage Ghana for Antiasiano, Oma Nyade, Intema, Ekofa and Sembibriba. Because of course, what in Frata, and then I know what you. I will be able to better Nanka open nipa bear a num or mine. Say bond and some only on my nimpa in negotiation. Eh? Pa. Let's Najuma. Ajuma no rock no frata amfa data bangin even when and this war bang dada. Omuko jiro bon besiani ade ade a. But na frata me ye finance minister. No omukon ho. No ne wadamfo to ba fe dem na start SAS.
Yeah.
No mu yes ajuma we. Enti ko tiase ni mu adwuma. What you say?
Yeah.
O hwe so a na adwuma o ye no aso biaba. Ana ne ye enjoy so mfaso a akofa nsem bebre ya bai. But of course, no one better time. What you say? No wonya hwam. Nto bi am pese obetini din. What you say? Enti people will not give credit to him. Wa adwuma o ye. But obehwem pa kanokra. It is adwuma o ye. Any amina anta no mo
na so aba
ama ya dollar ye gina economy ni rating agencies who read on the budget here. He talks about say the economy na ye and the justification is say rating agencies are now praising the economy. But what rating agencies no policies reports in so omo quote say it is because of Ghana timi restructure our economy ninti to omo do omo ka abroche ni Ghana ha na abo ama dollar na gina. What do I say?
Yeah.
Omo mention BOG mentioning gold for oil policy. My last one now, 1 million. All boss we need adi. The gold for oil. Mati say Omo kofa
province.
And also crown boy another. MPP. Eye pa ya disia.
Oh yeah.
Na. Eye. Ye bompa ye. Nyakopon.
Nyametia.
Hwe. Okay, say omo issue statement no omo say the entire city na gina na omo beto aso aye ama city na gina ne say omo be continue akofa sika free gold for purchase program I be the buy but they will never mention it. But you see, God is a wonderful God. Ora Dr. Zakari Mumuni, first deputy governor, Bank of Ghana, NDC, President Mama na appointing. And when say President Mama be my appointment, I need say the attitude ni yehu. So won share ni vision ni nya adwene anya NDC.
Be the adwuma na ma.
O ma da.
Ama so.
Oko abrochire UK abrochire mem. Eko Kasai on August 60 ya. And oko Kasafa.
August 6.
Yes.
Black Wednesday.
Oh.
Hey, coffee on the Black Wednesday.
Oh, there no na. No na. Ye ba so. O ma ko dada o mu ko throw some bogus report bi. Ko tinchi o mu so ye fa ko jina so nkoto jet no. Eno na ka wo do mo maya.
Ke say na.
Na so ko so nkoto jet mpa. At least Toby. Obi nka say nkoto jet. And I'm not sure people who want to behave like everyone said on me when they were in opposition. That's okay. Ene.
Yomo ye nti wo yomo ye.
Wo dey eba no so. Sanwure. Oh, sorry, doctor. Oko abrochi English abrochi mem. Eko kasa em. Tibi o kan in the first paragraph. O kasa wo African Premier Trade Banking Thought Impact. Or say like most countries Ghana's economy performance faced significant volatility emanating from the large external shocks during the 2020 pandemic, followed by a spillovers from Russia-Ukraine war, which exacerbated pre-existing physical and death vulnerabilities, raising concern about death sustainability. President Mahama appointee, say, in fact, Ghana, your economy, no, FAC difficulty because of COVID. Yeah. Any Russia-Ukraine war. As someone who person betting or my it's an admission say I'm pass Russia-Ukraine war. Any COVID affect the economy. All no idea to say I'm pass my debt no na ntimi ye dey. Enso ano. We no to aso. I say and I'm saying now in page 2 the case for gold. A strategic turnaround using the domestic gold purchase program. Now, they will say gold accounted for nearly 56% of Ghana's total export earnings, and yet until 2022, gold had not featured much as an asset class in Ghana's reserve portfolio or contributed much to reserve accumulation.
So it to say from 2022
until 2022, no.
And I didn't say
now Ghana, even though gold have a major idea in here, no, now a formal part of our reserve accumulation. I know money reserve. I must say, would be a $1 no. But MPP are buying. Mr. Trust on one hour, because MPP are buying. Not just faced with this fact, no. Ghana undertook feasibility studies on countries with domestic gold purchase programs, including Philippines, Ecuador, South Africa, Turkey, Bank of Mongolia, etc., etc. The NPP by Echo, Echo understudy Omo gold purchase program. At 2022, after the name you might see here, or did you say a boy? Or say NPP buying here, no. Then, consequently, Ghana domestic gold purchase program was launched in June 2021. So June 2021, I buy NPP. What I say? Now, I'm launching here, no. One, the number some banks on one echo. This NDC appointee or say is to increase the bank's gold reserves by 100% within 5 years, which at the time may 8.7 tons. NPP free I might do 30 point something tons. Gold reserve 2021 MPP launch here and me say
it's more than 100%.
They achieved it.
Yeah.
They are over because now I'll say 8.7.
At least 17.4.
Yes, but MPP free I'm now 30 point something. I'm the point 1 as a 1 point ton pen about account. And then to diversify the bank's FX reserve portfolio, leverage the bank's gold holdings, and then to build confidence with stronger reserves and stable currency. Purchase, it was also to build confidence, to build stable currency. So, but they were never stable currency. I buy a year. I buy a train.
Namisro, I was now for Peter and Kama and Yatin and Kanawaya, we class perfect, you man and why correct to cry. Alaji Aud Mahama, Alaji Aquaba. Yeah, no. And I'm what you saying. The Radiasipa. Okay, Professor Bodinso, Abakan Santi. And I
once a profile say economy now.
I like that you are wrong. Now, you're profit channel.
Meaning say a profit by the economy, apart from some few gymnastics and coming can become because I may and then I'm a cocker. You see, even now, I'm not smart to the black Najma home.
What's the idea? You are not a Prof. Aquaba. That's it. I'm what you saying.
Dwamena do more.
Yeah, the radiation seen I'm not here.
Sharing ya no so. Last time I'm not Agyei. I know ni ha. Oti enkra so na nkan so.
Rameto na akoye. I see.
Said na say Agyei why not say dey be obey late. Oh, o ka cancel na ni bo afu nti eja. Yenka. Oh, and nansen me ban tempa.
And the me say name.
Oh, say the nansen.
No man tem. Some me be studio no. Now so ko say prof aba.
Yes.
Afi ko nyina na pika so eh na dey BBS. Na dey BBS.
No consider na me tie. I dey fa.
Let me say o pa bibi.
All right, prof.
Diabolic.
3 days ago. IERPP a press conference budget no regiment ni amabi na amanfo pedi e course ho na tie nti ye obi ehwe wani so beba ti wa ba die na jese ye jade akama ho na budget na finance minister here for 2026 no e den na mo so mo hu ho bibi papa bi wo mu Ghana fo ana citizen
yeah. Mr. Bɛkyerɛ what here for na Bɛkyerɛ godon until me do hantem no more e born tell so be a teacher born on hand I'm say we start here to frame so me boy echi don mo buy na mo boy so sa na ewi a o ba na me ka say edamase mo support am dem IRPP de bia no ejuma bia na yam fama nka ho enkonanim so edamase your program on the last week it was a Wednesday our press conference center and they be an also champion in my phone so the minister be kind be nyina na nya kwan etie to be so be ka bia na bo ma na chichi na saa na ye no
bi okra uti a wonti ase jo am bi an chichiru mu a na ye bidiri wani so
yeso be ka jumadi a sonko na ye nya donfe na bano ye nya Dr. Befi na meso in such a way so be able to don't buy ever da or man no baby gina say a queer no say a day we and so the 2025 and we see the last day minister a kind of budget your performance and the greedy of mine the performance do my wadi you in a sign for revenue na ya ban so be chechemu our expenditure so unya revenue now the expenditure na unya revenue so bed why expenditure oh in a sense you na enya befi so the better so for environment and mining issues and a good board the can sana e change very interesting discussions in the year na ye fa menya don't feel any hand you know e be both of our credit for nigga you are na meeting dem be e ka hono so e that so ye fa bibi fa performance 2025 the performance by wire na osha from March and I say oh yeah in the budget and October and we say November you know be ready in the budget just in do 1 year but at least a good government be a 6 month 100% you assess na any bonnet by a fine you might be 7 near the assessment now graded the man 40.5% man 40.5% yes license this year but them said maybe it will be 40.5%
for your professor of the university 40.5 for no say you F say one say remedial so we to serve for remarking so wakonya we bring with me and then you may if I be revenue and a tax the amount of 5% you might be say arrears are your auditing Obekaya so your auditing say who's kakakres or mine until at least man be around 5% into far indicator not far ne why any on 5 out of 10
out of 10
oh a point to be I can say
in the fire they wait at the count na you can your man why or sa kunyoma no the revenue be can or abolish levy or abolish maybe to say 10% VAT tax we have here VAT on insurance move emission remove 1.5% on processed gold we have you sanyo mano bebe kebi wasia onye and also be levy so covid levy and you know how your man max now say say nti assess ye adwuma you we na dey be to say energy so the better
and it is a social sector, the performance in that area, and a far infrastructure, and so the digitalization, near mining and environment. To the Boma, I could see 40.5%. Just a figure demand. The performance. TV near TSC 2026 budget.
Okay.
The whole fund and quarter tobacco. Near who said 2026. When we back in the top one year saying, you who say, on my your weak growth outlook, a major risk ahead of us. Weak. Now, you say, and say last week now, it's a sort of the same situation. Said, oh, my, your growth outlook on Enkoye. Say, also economy. No, man, you say, did you grow? It's answer, maybe you do know. You bought Ghana, dear, you do it through. You do it through, papa, and you be on your far, need I politics and all saying now. Offer revenue, say, a den of your revenue. Also, here's a car almost 268.1 billion for the age one. No, we are here about 302 billion as under expenditure. Just a minor sad situation woman, sana de be a woman. And you know, they be no expenditure, no did no a chain near Winya. Until they be an sunny womb. Now, Shah, when we can say any paradigm shift, there's no paradigm shift. And this economy. That I know. The intermaker that and say, on my interest, and your compensation, I cheer, ye de teacher hoka, ye de cheer, Sikaya Kojamanoneno, sanity. 50 almost a far more than half of the budget. Into 2025, the same situation. 2026, the same minor solution banner, ye. It is a very concerned that but a baby chaser or game changer. It all banning him say, a besissa dynamics here, a woman de Biana. Now, a concerned could be a dear, not in the Biama. A whole not the old problem, Kakra. Now, Yanko revenue are Banikaye. In fact, we saw a lot of inconsistencies in the budget. Yanfa revenue, Indikai. Here at the force and say on the 13th November, there Yawoda. And Thursday, here at the force and say the removal of yield levy did not weaken revenue generation. That's what we say. I did them is OT as your part. Don't do what you're not there.
You levy no crappy honor. Ama Sika Yenyano. And comfort and S1 Tibrisa.
S1 T. Good. Until Okasasana near Eswako budgeting to be called on page 18, paragraph 112 of the same budget. The first 3 quarters from Agyei far Banyan. Okasa Unya revenue 162.6 billion. And also Unya. I could see the 3rd quarter now buying 152 billion.
It's a 10 biaka baby ama.
Almost about 7.7%. And I come.
Okay.
Just a course and uncost.
It's cannot I say yenya. Now we say minister knows any time I can say obi metre budget no oka abana junetire nti oko parliament abana no oko kana junetire nti say oba ho a ye pese no kwari edadi nti wie na so ka say abana say o say oyi 11 fi ho no revenue affected. Meanwhile, budget okay now their bare presentation. We figure one kasa wo kano. That's a
and a prof a difference with 10 billion difference no. Say we a 3rd quarter. Last quarter no ultimate closing gap no.
Last quarter
once we a 3rd quarter.
First okay, once we close last
Rebecca say yes. Say we is up to 3rd quarter. The 3rd quarter say end of September.
Sir.
Yes, sir.
We are calculation now,
end of September now 152. What baby say last quarter na kai no e bia obeti manya 10 billion.
What? You see, okay. Yeah, they know the buy now. Also, the figure but can November no more. Now then also on casse. May try to see December no.
Menya say. I can't 1 month to end. Look at November. Yes. But just already is no page 18, paragraph 112 from it says that be also Nyaska 162. Usika Unyanka sign 157 or so. I just said a weekend revenue.
Yeah.
Good.
I feel when say the same year period who abolish levy. Who abolish nyoma. And also introduce other tax to buy.
Yeah.
So you introduction.
D levy.
Oh yeah. Well, why mineral process and the 15%. 2 years, what's that? In the midst of all this, when to raise your revenue?
I know they are
who can I send that?
This one or this one?
I feel ra 2020 year Kumuswa. Who said who revenue stream be a fee? There is come on, who abolish we obey we. Now we have such as a increase revenue stream. Ya can ye. I feel no person a year serious also if in ye. Or see obeti VAT so from 21 to 20 or so.
Yes.
I buy one revenue tag one young. Who bet sign who we are almost bojo juma 10 overs.
Yes.
And do 750,000.
Ube yi omo film.
Uyi omo film. Just say, omo ntia tax. Omo ni some register VAT. And this omo ye bibia o. Omo fa omo hu free. For the optics. Because on one breath you are preaching tax widening. Same for measure tax bracket. No more ntia no. Entimi chebi moye. No mind it na so kaso uyi omo film a.
Almost dozen.
Revenue so struggle. Now, me take calculation was say in fact, what chairman say I meant say. Now, I didn't say the same are buying now. Usha history of what you say. Omomutia state enterprises. Abani say enyomo obenya the revenue na afimu park say tinio. Yes, obey revenue compliance. Yes. Revenue compliance. We are now a year the bit say state-owned enterprises. Compliance just say but you won't your tax. More file on time. Mumo modiana muko mo juma na mume chiana me sanka bi. Onipa no anya obeja nya revenue.
So e be obe make sure yourself nipa na aye.
Okay.
That and the hope now.
We are also state-owned enterprises. Also discuss non-tax revenue. Back say my percentage of it says for history for two abakosem. State enterprise they must send a dividend by.
Every boy ka.
It honor revenue be fear ba. Hey. State enterprise no could depend on be ejuma. Every revenue abro amonye sika.
Na no cry e saying. Profit or saying
companies no only saying no for the dividend at the brabine. Serious. You should the revenue stretch. Are they buying person they generate more revenue? A bo mine. Ekutia yeka. Say or the AI custom reforms. Bɛkyerɛ. It is a container no. Near the cameras. Na ko check say price also tier. The term of revenue akoso. Na people let's say people let's go see. All the technology. You can say you program you believe in technology.
Yes.
Now, budget no custom officials and you send a technology na say.
Training percentage
say na audition training for to train them. on IT related check the data. Import a fee approach in as a for ban. It's work for more. All the tariffs also laws are on touch here. Now CCT camera no containers no cossette na empty house. Over the one you profit.
And fear some.
Ni fear approach ba na ma se ne ho se ba.
I want to need that.
It's revenue no coffee fi hina ba. After one service growth outlook no a week. Na adia na a hard drink kakra on expenditure. If you revenue because revenue bonyo me sape. Also offer expansion production expansion more. No more compliance. The administrative measures and the revenue be cost. And yet production and yet expansion. Near my estimate can say her GDP growth target. 2025 with the 4.8 and the target. And only 6.3. This is what we need. What the 4.3 and Okunya 6.3. 4.8.
No, 6.3.
Who Sabira a few women so also the same target now. And also Sadi Ejuma. Now Okoya now by. I just want person uni echo him. Na adia ne try and so kakra the expenditure. A point be fa so a the sika no. Or the bay juma ame ho atoye na osha on the expenditure portions no share performance last year on my compensations any interest required take about 50% of our budget. Good. I just said you see Kenya nyina yes say kese na ewo skedi tutu and the tutu interest our man na last year a buying budget is or this 360 million and now or the Bema or more government machinery. So we shall presidency
some institutions be assurance.
Good. We no I spend it 560 million. Now other than nurses na if we man from meanwhile so the same about say or yeah discipline I want expenditure now discipline no one customer sale ho no abruso
what is the say sika no ansa no be simple akotwa de akura no be miamia ahwe say sika we de semi wonko yi sika basa
good
e ko wi ase na abruso bebre so one for discipline and to hold the any you will be
that's right. Discipline and kasa one kasa so one year discipline your mousika 360 million say for the do one kasa so a year no was spend 500 plus or say I feel 2026 also catch is over reliance on government unnecessary expenditures. Just say microphone mutu kwan microphone mutu kwan kwa brochre obekate sa microphone na my expenditure na en cost low budget no because we say that's why say we need revenue o cut expenditure interbuy no revenue no unya expenditure also cut and because also cut he was forced to cut because revenue no ma until we can say a discipline any discipline unya revenue na keka discipline just say when spending that's what discipline you spend but you spend well that's discipline until some back say 2026 Nkrofo wa buy nkrofo mututu kwan obekate of expenditure na question this and say na last year no okate say and I'll save you same more buying I was in competition more so ebia last year if amucho you can say we spend 300 and something e ko wiete no and you spend 560 something if amucho e ko sa grade you make sure say yen ko yenim spend at the same time nursing teacher ya form no other teachers I will say form at the basket ya form but one can say his car a cost of money enti o de nyina to nsane so that's what we can say aban 2025 and costing also economy. Yeah, the sa hodina ne de kosa film ebe haje. The same budget now. Let me say page 1000, paragraph 1183 or so. Or page very few page number. Now 1000 something. I will say page make sure I have the amount.
Okay.
Also page 145. Also 2025 budget claims that 63 billion road contracts awarded so far. Yeah. Minister go down bro from the Bɛkyerɛ. Awarded so far.
Now, I'm award and that's in the previous government now.
Also, the 2025 budget claims that
out of 2025 budget.
2026 budget claims that 63 billion
worth of
road contracts awarded so far under the big push.
Oh, I'm telling you, big push is so much.
Big push is coming to call me the end now.
Awarded.
I'm a contractor for 7 years.
63 billion. Now go to appendix. Appendix is 4.8. It shall say Sika Eko Hono. Appropriation at the moment 13 billion.
Out of 60 something.
The appropriation and the appropriate
scanner allocated.
What it is scanning? Also
award 60 something.
Also awarded 63 billion so far. When we go through exact word. Now of course our page wanna make or no also say appropriation and kasa. Yes, they could spend 13 billion. And I spending 9 billion.
Naka for down.
And this is no one
one person. Contract from the Obawa, the Baton Tiaka. Yes, I know.
That also awarded 60 contract value.
63.
A chairman said, "What spend you?" And awarded.
Or more, if you look at a budget, almost 63 now
awarded so far. Awarded means that all the contracts now worth 63 billion. Now, so our budget for the whole year. 2025.
13 billion. Now 13 billion.
And was spending 9 billion.
9 billion. 9 billion no production year. A commitment to. They've not even paid yet. Almost at all. Scam the almost say commitment. Almost at all. They've not even spent the 9 billion. And yet. Even 11 billion now, 13 billion now allocated here, once and no crown, 9 billion penny were committed. And yet, also, one contract 66. No, something is not right.
No,
63 billion.
Now, Doc, when they say this is your area, but you go to the next allocation on my year in 2026 budget big push, and we are 30 billion. What the 30 billion no can 30 billion
already 63 billion
43 billion.
What them is Sankro etia yenko bane ko ka. And just no. This is you mama.
Under the law no so ultimate ma a year ultimate spend it out of appropriation won't call parliament for approval.
Yes.
Anything that you are spending on, you have to go for parliamentary approval.
Yes.
And a parliament approved 63 billion for
business can first.
So how did you spend it? Where did you get the money to spend? So most spend here and if that money is ready spent, then something is happening. And the Skabi Remuna
also 110 okay, figure be 110 million.
Yeah,
for
I know no for 24-hour economy.
Okay. Check appropriation.
Yes.
The same budget now. Appropriation. But appendix of the
90 billion.
110.
If you say the statement or my in the budget statement, 110. But all allocations, who can appendix? Line by line.
Where is the
question? Munchemi na amafo. And I say only the actual
appendix. In appropriation.
The appropriation.
But where appendix explaining Sikana or appendix.
Yes. Did you appendix in the Odi Kwankasa? Yes. Did you ever kind to a brofutin and a unit?
It's in 110. Papa keepers. Let me say the 20 and away 70 compensation part. Udboma 90. And to cancel my budget like credibility. Because figures no. Share the same budget. Or say create jobs 800,000. 800,000. Or say sir we create 60-something billion.
Big push.
They create 490
construction sector. Yes.
And also this downward. Or say 700. No more 20,000. Who break it down and do 800,000.
Now construction sector, no, Prof. Say often payment say construction here. As when a contract in the human club.
Laborers.
You form a way we are so or Jabuka Momusoko.
Wojako.
Yeah.
And look how they will debate type of employment.
Yeah.
Say on more for a contract a year no be created. So be created. Enti near can say social figures I call appendix in your kana and matching. Because budget idea guide your mind for 1 year. I think it's a little journey. All present the corner inconsistency woman. Over the wager when idea become wasn't. Now, also there a year critical the 9 bills that they only before Parliament. 9. First one, I say a friend value for money. Now. Anything you do, I was reflected that year you are talking about. Value for money, just on procurement related things. We make it sure say, usika unkotungu. I'm just saying I was saying. It's so the side bill in the bar. Me so many day. Now, this is a value for money bill. No, a be a juma which year?
That started from 2026 January.
2026. Yes. To control about the time being.
Say contract there in our car, the Oma award here. Not the Oma award. Also award the radio. I'm not awarding value for money.
Ever affected 2026 budget?
Yes.
Or 2025-27 budget?
But it should it should affect 2026 budget.
I was say affected 2026.
Yes, because once you do the bills, no,
it means what award it award like why you. Okay.
Yeah. So.
A very Juma time being.
I know the minimum long so taking retrospective effect. So it will take effect from 2026. It means the contracts award, they will not be value for money. The law will not affect value for money. Law. I know the echo, but it will affect 2026 awards,
effect. Yes. So when okay, Ubisa contract 400.
Yes.
Okay, sorry. 400. 400.
Yeah.
And now okay value for money now. Who say no? I will say 200.
Yes.
So when you excess of
to 200.
Into the impact which year now say the impact.
So you
because why
obey roll over. So seriously, that's a problem.
Seriously. So when now the capital expenditure, who said, a human bill,
my goodness,
must be a virtual assets. Viva called the coin as a virtual asset. Just say cryptocurrencies.
Yes.
one of the things that Masika so Abba revenue side, cryptocurrencies, yet technologies. Now, other developed world, some of the are cryptocurrencies.
Oh, I know almost start here, no problems.
We need to open a church on Saturday, no demands.
What
is the entire value cryptocurrency in addition to the budget for 2026? Tell them now, Kase, you pay irrigation, you pay production, you pay increasing the 24-hour economy, and you see a major expansion project. The big push agenda. Now, see how the core impono cannot even support. You're very that's a way. Winning for near a try.
Okay.
You don't come and say, we can't be brave. That point in the say, on my, you can't fiscal discipline. And no interest men spending. Spend within your means. NHS who you be within managing or little resources here. Now this kind of thing what's a mean spending. And the Rebecca says anything on my what the tax channel. Some microphone will be set for projects. Tax are we for so will be into a 5. It's good. Some microphone next day. We have a problem.
Prof, it was Professor Agyei, a Dean, Faculty of Accounting and Finance, UPSC, and Executive Director, RPP. Budget no watch me budget no can cast and my imagine he but watch it media friend say adwuma pa Agyei so Agyei P Mrs. Victoria Donko or US no se me fan krama mo o se Sunday Saturday bi ohwe mo
okay
eni gi mo ho pa ntimanyire mo honya adwuma no na wode wa se o pese o bagana
okay
na Dr. Baumia ma ya wonti ma
okay
ntimanyire mo ho to draw se ta ma mo no
yeah the last be ya for mo ni na
okay nti Agyei wo so ka kra
hey wait me budget me niama bi na echu ma adwin kaka on say aban we niama or the boosty pan you can't say what you
but the one the
journey there are two things in the sound of observation here. One, yeah, the single digit inflation and a two, yeah, dollar. See these are the two major things oko baby and this in Libya parliament from wena oko bibia zo get to oko bibia say obisa omo say sanya manu a sanya ma me anyway especially me because onga maybe so omo say mo amoti high mo the hin na spend dollars wa ha mo the hin na the dollars here juma mo twa so say dollar ba for see the ba for dollar ba for dollar for and not see the high strong but beside the point apart from that you know Sanya made the way inflation. Doc, me mentias you. Prof, Prof, sorry. Prof, you have to be a professor. I know the
as a police in our rank. So, one way out of
Papa, so you need to cry a zero. Because so far, I no more antata, Prof. I don't chose Papa Nibia, and the Prof. Inflation. See inflation movie from 21%. MPB free power no inflation 21%. And as they say, it was 8%. And yes, sir. Now prices no inflation. It has not determined movement of prices. To say once the inflation, it suppose that once inflation go down, prices must also be going down. And then the rate, correct, at which prices go up or come down. Now, from 21 up to 8, no.
There's a difference.
Difference to 30, no. My understanding is that prices slightly at least a better gradually. Now your commodities be a way. I don't know the inflation basket or more use. Minimum assessment a womb. cement price has not come down. Akosro. Nso aye no pa obi anu nso. Who could share bottle of a pack of a
sachet water? No.
You have a bottle water.
Bottle water, yes.
To say brands in the Melaqua, the Baltic in the prices from our cost. A milk. I'll be a family year in the milk. Prices of milk are cost. Prices are. Kenke the 5 no that's for but size no
size no the
I see your concern.
Yes.
What I need to say I didn't buy from last store.
Prices no the
also yeah cannot deflation.
Yes,
deflation. And it's a price that's all connected.
Peter, and no, I'm mentioning a word way to say me yes, I mentioned this deflation. Me no more structure say I only did O level economics, but I mentioned deflation. I suspect
disinflation and not deflation.
Okay,
and I inflation.
Yes.
See, who say car no cost speed now or call 100, Afe or Tiba 80. Or Kona Nimu.
Yes,
that's on Konachi.
Yeah.
The name of Okono, speed is what it. You don't expect say that price no or Konachi. Other way around. We are talking about inflation. There is an increase in the general price of goods. It's a corner. There are 2 cities. Or chame coin na call 10 cities. Na call 40. The speed are not there.
Yeah.
Nemo 2 cities. Na call 6. Na call 8. Na call 9. Echo the speed na echo.
Yes.
And I saw it. That is all.
So it doesn't mean say inflation go down or prices automatically are reducing. And yes, sir.
That's
prices never cost kakra.
But it takes time.
Okay.
And sana. But the impression of Mama Yatin is
that's all.
And your man bore Abafam. That's what it is. I'm say Abaim Bia Maya. Your man bore Abafam.
That's the boss of Cassette. Not the nice Cosro.
Yes. In fact, no, I mean, who TikToker be also no go to a month. 5 kilos no. Also MPP time no. Na yeah 165 or so. And now it's a mama buy 9 months yeah. I buy 60 Ghana. Now I didn't know mama yes sir. I don't know what the price no so sir. No hero. Me ma who say yeah saka.
Some for you no you ma come.
I say saka. But so these are the things any dollar no almost say about from see the no appreciate no. And no na me who say sana o ma bibia economy so mo fe no sterilization. Say o ma 62 billion cedis if free no more. The wo mene wo scanner can be available, liquidity no can be available ya the better. See even talk. See, once we are not buying, prices will either stay or price at which rate at which said or channel prices are increasing no best low. Because we are not buying. We don't have the money to buy.
Yes.
Oh, it's kind of you say demand and supply.
Yeah.
Oh, to idea now and the prices there so we don't sell that. We don't buy say price no either a rate of increase no yes low and I say a remaining stagnant. Sana another point I keep you know your friend is saying inflation any now as I say inflation down and on say 62 billion be our Bank of Ghana a year free system no more from the banks any year liquidity no or sterilize it or my year free so that the money will not be available for you to it keeps on and then inflation no call down no we know once you don't spend would the inflation no say above from you don't spend growth na economy what will be the growth
because someone
spending to stimulate growth and I was spending prof what can NDC major flagship program they buy 24-hour economy. 2025 2025 24-hour economy zero. Skabia in court 24-hour economy. That is why jobs, almost say 1 job, 3 people, 3 shifts, ambaso. There was the only thing they launched, and then they say, or more launch the program, the policy. And Obukache said they will need $4 billion. $4 billion last year has said $4 billion according to other researchers, Oman accounted for incentives are on private sector to help generate the 4 billion because Abano say the percentage of bear 7%. That was about between 250 mostly $300 million. So the rest of it, according to Oman policy, will be generated by the private sector. Now, before private sector, no one struggle to be able to generate a difference now over about 3.7 billion. You must give some incentives for them to grow, to be able to generate, to support you to do. Ocean budget no more. There are no incentives there at all for the private sector. There are no incentives. So private sector are already struggling. Where are you going to get the money from to do your 24-hour economy?
And then also,
yes.
Also, are the domestic borrowing?
Yes.
Or the TSM, and the same private sector as I could compete.
On the domestic market.
Yeah. Also, monetary policy rate. No matter how low the rate. You are
competing. Majority of borrowing, even 2026 budget will be domestic. What's your budget here? And now you are competing with the private sector now. Who depending to support you to do your 24-hour economy? You are competing with that private sector. 24-hour economy. So almost the private sector. And then
now wait. In fact, now you can watch him. The main thrust of the program, no. 133.
Yes, Ebinuma take you over from there. Because that is what there's a market for their produce. They say you are crowding out your friend is saying scammer omukwakoji busi idea pro your business, no, you are competing with them. Because of borrowing will be based on majority of it will be domestic. You will be competing with these people.
So this is before
24-hour economy, because of your borrowing policy. Policy where they buy so they borrow more on domestic market. One year before 24-hour can joma more no crowd be good sajman. Internal go be breaker say Ghana for breaker say some budget we said the prof kan and yet it lacks integrity. It lacks ocean man so. If you put 1 and 1 together, it doesn't. Or moment the 1 plus 1.
Interesting as for us all the 5.7. SM is now generated 5.7 billion into their pockets. Also for the optics, it looks nice. So when you're on tax now,
yes,
says can they show
yes.
But also says can make on your fear.
Yes. Before where are you getting the money to be able to give that?
Sir, the next thing I was investigating the cost of sterilization of kind.
Yes.
It comes with the cost. Yes. Saska is to go no. We'll later on do a calculation and find out how much it comes with the cost. Because you borrow, you find a well-based kind of film. You also got it from the and it comes with a cost. Interest cost. This is the interest higher. You pay.
And no.
These are things. This on sterilization policy or buying to schedule. We have to do quantify how much they are spending on those money.
Prof, having said this, the I'm going back to the 63 billion United Mile. May say no credit there, and there must be some investigation. I think minority for They should not just leave it like that. Say it no credit. It may be true.
Awarded so far.
Yes.
Contract
because it's stated clearly.
An appropriation 13.
Yes.
You spend 9.
But contract
So how?
That contract no we
Contract is so much to
And I say we are careful expressway
and you scan on the
expressway no. Look, because there must be a
6 lane here to Kumasi back. 6 lane.
You see, that is why Peter. That is why Peter. Don't be worried. Don't be. I'm not for Becca say on share so money laundering be But Peter, don't be worried. Ghana, your system na run democracy na run. Any project that you undertaking must be approved by Parliament.
I'm so many 18 interchanges. Accra Hub, Adeso, Asamanka, so Achimda, or Fuansina interchange
within 3 years.
Lake Busum and Kumasi
Within 3 years.
Yes. 3 years.
Now, along Lambenia emergency medical facilities, fire stations, maintenance and rescue centers, fuel stations, catering restaurants, electric vehicle charging stations.
Don't worry.
And big push.
Cost.
That's not called big push.
No. Oh, big push within the 4 years. $10 billion. $10 billion.
So, expressway where you name the cost.
You don't know the cost.
Some of the
and two budget cycles, 2025 budget, 2026 budget, allocation or 43 billion. 43 out of your fund say $1 cry 10 cedis. It means that your 10 billion is $100 billion is 100 billion cedis.
Yes.
2 year cycles, budget cycles, who allocate 43 billion. C'est ça, I can't 57 billion.
But I can't 60 billion.
Yeah, 60 billion.
60 billion do a
maybe. Now 43 billion no crown. One yeska now first budget 11 billion crown. Only 9. What is the guarantee 30 billion for 2026 no Benya? Based on Prof, the calculation revenue mobilization now shortfalls in the Brebe. So even if you were to get all the 43 billion, the first 2 years, the last 2 years, let's say 60 billion. 60 billion, and on now the expressway, yes, and no other roads, and no big push programs. That is why I'm saying, my concern, I will not be so much worried because project be obey piano. That project no obey no. The money is where the money is.
We know only the PP. Private sector, come there.
Yeah, private sector, no. Private sector, no. I'll struggle.
Oh,
well, private sector maybe outside Ghana.
Okay.
Private sector maybe outside Ghana, but those monies will have to be approved by Parliament.
Yes, it will.
But those monies will also have to be within your budget. Can also be spending, yes, because every year be all the above budget for approval me spending. Look at the total appropriation the budget 357 billion.
Well, you see, in context now, just the expressway, no, Mr. Speaker, a flagship of the big push infrastructure program is the Accra Kumasi Expressway project.
Yes.
Ghana's first modern 6-lane bi-directional Class A expressway.
Yes, big push. Big push is canon. That's a amount.
Say a flagship. They be about private sectors. About shape big push. Normally,
it will still be the 10 billion.
Say 10 billion. Budget
10 billion. But
they can outside the budget.
Now, no private sector, no. Peter, generation of that money within the economy, and then we should be asking, no. It's not just mentioning figures. Now the emission is say, Mama the first of all ban also see 200 e-blocks. What started for the 4 years they no see I know see here.
What man ya kotampo.
Hope City sema okofaba
Peter. Now so afiko mbe national another national theater Kumasi. 2013 film and act for Kosram. Or catch on to obviously a national theater.
That tells you, say, say be started some project way expressway me I will not prophesy.
Hey, Master,
I am predicting.
You are a Muslim.
So I will not prophesy.
Malam so prophesy.
Oh, Master, men because you know my.
Okay, first, listen now. Uzalaji no also of Zenko obey Islamic clerical. And of here now. Oh yeah, oh,
which my Messi project we say a started crowd. So almost within 3 years. Yes. We are finding a name on mention and the revenue by
even compensation on between Accra and others of
Mama and yet I think we should be surcharging people. My and yet I am for a second Kogu. I be out to her.
Can you pay them Bibi?
I be out to her now within 3 years. No, Kwano ya says billions. Now Kwano is baby, now obedient to me for Kwano. So they are. Meanwhile, there's a road that before start here, President before start here, Dua Courage, Kumasi Accra. President Kufoye, President Kufoye about to us. Why don't you complete that project? Because who completes that project, even if it is too late, Dua Courage from here to here, I bet you it will reduce traffic, it will reduce accidents. No free hands or Kumasi.
And just 7-8 hours.
It will take you 3 hours. Nowhere to Kumasi. So why waste time? Is it just because you want to give it a Mian and expressway and I say knowing it's a starting crowd and you saddle this country with debt? Are we thinking?
Right.
Compensation. So interesting in the budget. The 2026 budget. It's a compensation on employees. 58.1 billion.
Yes.
Compensation.
Yes.
I know the recurrent expenditure all the day.
Now, above last year, the next 57.
And now this year,
58.
2 billion.
1
billion.
1 billion.
Almost also.
A little over 1 billion.
Yeah. Now, Sasikano, wages in Kwane salary.
Yes.
52.2.
Wages and salary in Guam. And then Oma Esgasha no money.
So normal all those
other health professional health on the very phone.
Now what kind of want
jobs in a way.
So or former so Baba can't compensation already
Finance Minister say backlog of nurses 150,000.
150,000
cannot be employed in 2020.
Yes. Because can you go to
jobs are creating
but Prof, that is where even the 24-hour economy should have taken effect.
Exactly.
Nurses. Medically,
Nekobaja also no. There are issues. Because VAT already so VAT a bit create 5% the cost of doing business.
Yes.
But VAT so for a bit create that 5%. Now we say business a developer only VAT reduction. Demand is key. The climate environment are operating is key. Reduction in VAT and translate it into jobs creation. No, and so no,
now, Prof, another thing, a budget where Ghana for any economists, my colleagues in be professors in be are praising this budget. And I am a man. Budget or say, check growth. Or more projected 2023. Now, by say economy was criminally managed. It grew at 5.7, 5.6 and 5.7. And yes, the economy grew. By this 2025 budget, a target growth target and drew 5%. And yes, What's it 2026? About 4.8.
The same budget, the same target now.
4.8.
Last 2025, now 4.8.
Also projection for
4.8.
The same idea.
4.8.
Inflation target.
So why is the growth?
The person will grow. That's what I'm saying. Interest on person man only inflation target 8 now. Also next year 8.
Yes. So why is the growth?
What is
stagnant?
Inflation, it means you are interested in the cost of living of your members. It's also the call the same figure. 8 say. Call and also maintaining the same 8. I just said the cost of living for your members. You want it. Hey, and
I said, Prof, the better ask Papa, for a higher movement television, which you made in your Dwamena pay, and Professor Agyei, and then I will check your name. Am I right to say, and some
Prof, they are not. Yeah, no, that be a mechanic. Means only profit here. Say we are student. Class. Prof, yeah, that was a pa.
It's I don't know. I feel an allergy.
Yes.
The question is, can Ghana now afford new presidential jets? Because not long ago, and I'm back to say Ghana for your school fees. You see, I have to say the top presidential jet. Then I say na honorable Samuel Abujina po say sika no a o matwa kra o budget ni mu no ya hwe ye sika be spend no nya sem ketwa because what just a 4-year period.
Yes.
So 4-year period now ka say this 2026 budget only 1 billion ashemu a meaning say every year be 1 billion be kwa koshimu. So you will end up spending best a 4 times the other this year budget ni mu no. Enti afedie omano ya ready yanye sika it mean at 3 square meters a day di afedie presidential jet fún abi yamayen
say proverbs be Malawi for omono mo sa proverb we say human beings are trapped by their ways. Man say nipa ukasa and a chichewo. Now horses are trapped by their horns. That's a horse, they say horns. Or baby Bɛkyerɛ and a chin. But only panel. Wakasa. I'll back and a chichewo. Now, and this or more position. Akufo-Addo Aban say Ombe Rutulu the military. Omuye dede bebre say scan ho Ghana we cannot afford or we could not afford to buy Rutulu the military, including presidential jets in almost all peneta. To the extent they say Parliamentary Defense and Interior Committee of Parliament, the Defense Minister, and Omutu Kwine, examine aircraft idea every tool military in BBR. In fact, parliamentary approval, abandon the budget where you grab a buy by Parliament for approval in BBR. Minority Gina is almost peneta. To the extent say Oma minority, them minority and this reform their side. Now Peter Adamfo, now Foreign Affairs Minister, a black one. One then ranking member of Defense Committee, it became a problem on the floor of Parliament because one went to kindly be examine aircraft near better. Now so Okase or no one penny, even impugning the integrity of committee or Moko examine near Mano. It became a subject of a talk on the floor of Parliament. O man penny say ye better subject the abandoned say near Mamon ID. Say waba obaye o say presidential, you know. Rutulem aircraft on Air Force it includes presidential jets. All presidential jets are managed by the Air Force. Part of package anchor down peso then MPP are buying almost almost penny. Then ambassador almost a presidential jet in a war President Akufo-Addo on use because it was airworthy. A black quack of Okude to honorable. Or say it was airworthy. To the say, I catch and say, or say what
3 engines.
No, me not say Baku or not President Akufo-Addo. No, that is why Obi radio presenter we say President Akufo-Addo Wukra with that jet crash CNC. That was the level of Motitiayen. Yamen Chadie, Omaba power. Presidential jet so Peter Saba. Presidential jet so married to 50. Omaya Saba. Abadia, not president who Sato Baku Yene. See, we are in the FFF.
And your jet Baku near too.
Oh, they're too. I ain't FFF. I don't know more use way because you come say at you economy Kenya de Joe Munina growth near the same.
The same.
BBI the same prices in BBI ni the same Bikra I west. So then I can't want to say when you discuss Okoto. She is say or Ghana. Until Omu you say is a men on name support to say a truly military and top presidential jet. Let me I supported it. But almost all penny. Fortunately, omo buy mu. So me support to almost say more penny. Omo penny no me support to omo.
Yeah.
If you have a country, one casa you don't have your a befitting presidential jet. Na say aban bi say mayen top. Na use almost omo penny. Say omo ba power. Say scaba. Bibia ye. Amofo dide me. BBI is Suku. No better motor 2. No one. Or motor Kessie. Kessie, you know, Peter, me, I should also be mentioned. Kessie, they are looking at a jet that will carry about 100 people. Second one, about 50 or so. 2, only a long haul and a short haul. Peter, Kessie, any medium. And apart from 2 jets, you are also looking at helicopters in Niama, Ubetama, the same Air Force. If you look at 2026 budget allocation, any 2027-2028, retooling of military, or put Niama Nina together, and on minority coca say is about 12.9 billion. Peter, and yes, sir, is it 13.9 billion or 12.9 billion? I have to check the figure.
I think 12 point something.
If you convert, and then $1.2 billion now, minority airport 2 years, they want to use $1.2 billion to buy presidential jets or retool the military. And I say and now oh yeah mathematics say Abuja Foko school now on the mathematics teacher a good in but the maths no calculate papa. Eventually one yet check no near my more budget medium from 2026 to 2028 projection to buy the aircraft amounted to say $1.2 billion. Peter eventually accepted. Memeno nanka mepe said the meka no Daasebre nanka mepe say benya befitting presidential jet.
Yeah, indeed. E so man no kra ni munyam.
Nanka mepe. Na say the scan ni way there.
Yentim.
Ebedi.
Yentim.
Because near be economy no growth na omode you know. Now economy grow 5.7 what's near my head near my munye. So say grow at 4.8 you know and on near my head. So I think say they should hold on. Omonchu chance kakra Peter. Now economy year no matter. I think the president can make do with the yeah, you know. So we say on to me call long distance or no so yet say the President Akufo-Addo yeah or no so about trotro Peter so we the you would oh yeah say tam cry as so terrible and I MPP
yeah you are going MPP
just a short presidential jet phone say chair
no crash our mind with now sometimes you can understand why ebi mo ya na mo lose interest or your political system, especially the NDC. Usha, they are not buying only one presidential jet. Two. Na pa ndo start of 4 heli. Yes. Na
ni na route to
NDC omfiso mu nyansama. Now all starting ne you know. Also Mr. Speaker, all started on the announcement of presidential jet. Or started also before I proceed, let me honor the late Dr. Edward Omane Boama, whose vision laid the foundation for the retooling of our armed forces.
Na ono obi Dr. Omane Boama late beba no na ye retooling
ona the vision there
on the foundation na ye retooling ye we brofu we
oh dey see Alhaji Toboa da be no who say retooling of the armed forces
na retooling grad they start with them
who dey see in his memory Ghana government will from 2026 launch a comprehensive modernization program to strengthen the Ghana Army, the Navy, and the Air Force for today's evolving security challenges. No can Navy there no bar Air Force no. The Air Force will procurement will begin in 2020 for 4 new helicopters. 4 new helicopters, and then 2 aircraft. You see, if they are sincere, at least even 2 heli. Maybe a 1 presidential jet and another aircraft on there.
Helicopters no dear 4 no dear on bet you at all. But presidential no.
And presidential
why 4? Why 2? Why 4? Who can say?
No,
no.
Military.
2. I've forgotten. These people just 2018. Say no who say President Mama talk rampa, he may not sit in it. Since when?
Nanka, they are not for person who could have.
Kufos
I say no. 2. On council
when 20 Akufo-Addo Obeko Yai or DB call parliament say nka yan retooling the same armed forces.
Yes.
Okuteto in responding, my very own friend and brother, the thing in catch and we are messaging message. Yes.
Now
all call to or parliament to speak against the purchase. No.
Yeah.
Or say the Kufuor-led government informed parliament on 19th March 2008 during the approval process. I'm quoting Kujato, leading to the purchase of the Falcon Ghana 4th presidential jet. That the lifespan of our presidential jet is for 20 years from the date of delivery. That is 2010. 20 years the presidential jet in the old and I say year out of service a year is 2030 and I'm what but what is point MP further said Ghana's current presidential jet is therefore barely 11 years old. The Namibian who used a similar presidential aircraft an older model a Falcon 9B continue to use this after 30 years. Why is Ghana going for a new one? When Ghana's own is not even 30 years.
Say I do 30 years.
Anyway, buying a new presidential jet involves huge sums of money. Yet we have workers whose salaries are nothing good to write home about. But the salaries workers
at the time all Casa train the government had increased salaries for workers by 21%.
Yes.
First year no 10%. 10%.
Rotation nurses are crying over unpaid allowances. But our government wants to buy a new jet. That does not make sense.
They are crying more.
But I can assure government, the Ghanaian youth and the youth of NDC will treat NDC MPs like the government Nana Akufo-Addo if they approve this reckless expenditure.
So say this more numbers, you know. So
Broja Jemfia and no deputy here or no Beka say defense here and or say president jet, you know, and you're fit for purpose, you know. Or say we will treat you like NPP MPs if you support the purchase of a new presidential jet, Broja Jemfi. Okotana Power FM, XYZ TV. Now say, we the youth of NDC will add the minority MPs, after 9 this now minority MPs, to the Akufo-Addo government and rise against them if they allow the purchase of a new presidential jet to go on. And then, or a deputy on we are only Falcon, Gulfstream, a Rolling time, MPPD a policy now be look for time now. Kufoko toya check kufoko kwantinam I chire ebe boy na anka it should have ended there. But you know I knew o say kufo dey ko da me nu ana most by ebe
kase no cancel kase
obe cancel dey na ka nu moment ka be che amaye no obe twam what you say na so you know o ma mpene hwe Sami Demfi o say decision to acquire a new presidential jet is an insult to our sensibilities. Now, kind Sema or Kaya, let me quote him on the Joy FM Newsfire, Saturday, October 2nd, 2021. I submit forcefully that the decision by the Akufo-Addo Bawumia NPP-led government to buy a new presidential jet is a misplaced priority, and it will amount to a waste of the public purse if it is allowed. The mere thought of it at this time is insensitive to the plight of the ordinary Ghanaian and an insult to our sensibilities. This should not be allowed.
To say the according to them.
Madam Papa, I am your Harina Idrisu.
They are on
but on the no, believe say a reckless use of taxpayers' money. Now I'm quoting. Or say, what is this that we hear that because president cannot bath in the current Falcon, he must buy a new jet, and then we should be interested in providing for the comfort of the president when Ghanaians are reeling under economic hardship. This is a misplaced priority. It is a misplaced expenditure, and therefore should not get our support. Haruna Idrisu, unquote.
He said, "Omo thinking they say." Whether they get the support of an MPP or not, they have the numbers.
Yes.
So that is all.
But you see, I'm saying, sir,
morality.
MPP, I'm not sure we want to behave like the way they did, or they opposition. Yes. So they may want to support them. But I'm saying, sir, four, no, at least buy two.
Namato,
one.
No, what all?
Helen two.
Presidential jet one.
Yes.
Now because you offer your a bit my domestic. Now president two kwanya. Maybe no you can say na mbeton. I'm to Helen two. Na mumfa manage it for now.
Now Helen is not for you. Helen is very important for the military.
Oh, but say Helen still are use. Helen even am ko use ya. Unim ko use ya dey o mani bo man
only problem dey ba so it means o man o dey buy o.
Yes. Helen
when ya
catch o man o dey go see ya o catch o so before na akoto and
papa bonini ense no man etoye
o man reporter o ko ye when Radimfa the 8th o mo crancy. You see, yeah, owo ni mfanya politics. But sabi o hwemu pa o sabi enkwase wo no mo wuye. Based on a report they issue.
Say me mekaye.
Enkwase wo. In fact,
the helicopter should not have taken off.
At all.
Some point na yanka o. Weather. Na helicopter na nkasa o problem.
Now even about my report no, I ko ye nhwemu. Based on report, also you need to fast somebody release the report in term. Yes. I'm a report now recommend saying got to heli before. And sana on my the budget. Quickly, I'm Tuesday. 2 days on the budget. So no my imagine that.
No my idea ship that.
The report was released a few.
But even on report now. Riding for money money.
It's already some part no faulty part of a aircraft.
I say in on the weather no say weather na ma in Kumasi from Omar report didn't a man nipa ko wu no. The weather was worse with diesel reducing visibility to around 4 kilometers and heavy low clouds sitting just 600-900 feet above the ground. Till only Accra and Kumasi aerodrome weather were available. Before number 2, Heli no a delay 1 hour before about the 2. Or say the flight was scheduled to depart 8 a.m. with estimated en route of 15 minutes. The captain had to take off due to the captain delayed the takeoff due to adverse weather in Accra, Kumasi, and Obuasi. What do I say? But the truth of the matter is, from our report, no, the only available information and available to them, the location from Accra, Obuasi enclave now. Only information said the whole weather here. The only available report and available to them Accra, Kumasi. Now weather information. Now information. There was no information. I'm quoting on the weather along the flight route available to the pilot. Then my pilot into a tumpa on Mohammed. No information. You information. You operate on information. Wouldn't name the weather on it here. Wouldn't name say the weather on it here or not. What do you actually also make? Can you imagine? Wait. Obi kokan ho asema yesi yenchino mru. Yenchino fanu kosi. This report because I we have report. No report. Any report na bogus so. The findings. Does it make sense? No. The same report. No. Report only the Ekanyama see, yes. That tells you, said they should not have taken off based on findings of this report. So the report itself cannot be bogus. But they should have obeyed instructions. Sudden. Oh, baby. Who named the hour when you now see me call? What can't you be playing them there? Who named the hour when you? Who read your own man and the talk? Just like that. Baby, Mekaya na ayami areho kesipan say on page 12 of the report. The heli entered Ghana Air Force in May 2015, and it's not Kotoye. So it's a lie when Omopedo is the aircraft until it was manufactured 2012 and reached its 10-year service threshold on 18th May 2024. How am I read, you know? This year, May 18th. No, second come the heli no call for service. The aircraft received a 90-day extension. That's 18th August 2025 with the manufacturer's approval. And 6th August. Say, yeah, you say helicopter no for next 3 months to do one extended by 3 months. And Alajika Ukraine. Na mandatory service de bi atai baby aye also the kokos na man ka won e bi jana so ye the driver ka se ka no ha me so we dey fakọ pass ba time no na aye o me am say time na we but and ya man mechanic one man warning say the organizer so kai o time aso say o be sisan car time no and am catch and say no we dey me power chow ma me fan kokoma o pa ne nkwa ho che no heli ni sa plane ni as say one time when they say card na we are on Niagara so by now on Niagara for this na you say in spite of say omko Agyei extension ya na extension be 18th and 6th August na omko wuye no radin form currency you know the heli findings no report na chest anytime because say bogus na say tio on page 17 the heli was airworthy but lacked one additional safety enhancement for flying safer in the weather phenomena over the terrain. The plane now time I saw somebody called man for service no na a lucky additional fly and new man can be man fly ye second now any our limited visibility plane now our limited visibility so now our rising and no ground based navigation aid routes assistance. Train. First of all, plane was limited visibility. And yes, and where you are going, you don't even know. No information. And the aerodrome, no information. What of what's new? Now, Accra and Kumasi pet. So, Kumasi report to does this report to say? Yeah. Why never plane 2 years at the time 2 years? The person who there must be somebody in charge of aircraft in ABBR. What is the recommendation of the person on that about this aircraft before it be 2? We must know that. First of all, Nipa be Air Force or
should be in charge of our aircraft. And yes, sir.
Yes.
What recommendation on Mars says, was it airworthy that particular time? Was it supposed to take off? Recommendation ben on Mars say, first of all, wouldn't say whether no baby or no said it yet. And yet,
no, in fact, a delay could now done yet. And the 2 years, so the only information I have available. Yeah. Accra Kumasi. There was no
so,
according to their
who was in charge of all these things?
Until the pilot no one only communicate back or you can put home. Say be a minya information woman.
Yes.
Until minya dem po.
Minya dem. Men san mechi anasa.
Menko.
Obi di share na uno. Obi abusi obi ani. Share abusi mu so obi wa. Especially nipa ni obi ani a a whole generation.
Say, dear Dr. Omanibuamo, Ombe me who fly.
Yeah. Me who be sir.
You better now, man, for
Akobona,
Papa, no,
avoidable death.
Because look at the way you have killed these people.
Only report, Nina, no recommendation. No, say modernize the fleet of Ghana Air Force. Acquire a modern aircraft with a modern navigation system with so on kill next week. Normally stay I know to Thursday no be shame some ko to heli for. Say be ya Ghana for
sympathetic.
And all started here or pay tribute to
Omanibuama.
Say be ya Ghana for nka.
Yeah.
We leave them to their conscience.
Movement television senior business for Breno Akakuma Ebinia so but it means sorry abra MPP prime minister air cost so yanka ho asem kakra say Breno akakakra bi na be 70 something days so say na ekwakoto aba campaign no air cost so no ho nsem bebiri say ade ba ko apie mu and say president vote no ema so oni ayi afiri mu akofa nsem bebiri aba sent your mu ye no otiatie mu won nhyada ntiase ye ebisi for the sake of peace na minim sir nyame yadma 2028 san kofo na omo eka for the sake of peace no be call electoral commission wa ka kire say Ghana ye election be yenyi president fimu ana because we want peace any nyama bi ebisi omo person di wiemu edima obi enti ya mfiri wa mfa nko sei ni sem ne bebribi nche behwe eno na yaka ewia ebrewo mu a na atoshi nso akasa se
ebrenu on yankan bi na yankan tam graph
MPP alaji
oh
prozi you say ye free mu when you mo abruchire eno na emu ni Ghana ha
yes
you say you can't say something. This is a franchisement. You say, this is you are free. You want to have an be an citizen. You are no. About what party? Now, so that's a party no more.
Only say, the chairman of elections committee, or a highly respected lawyer, or you know a first deputy speaker of parliament, and so. The law no the Mansian law. The name the entire Omoka say ye proxy vote if you Peter.
Yeah.
That's why probably you would have started to give reasons why because Memeti say Binumune yes last 2023 presidential primaries process. There are rules. If the processes were abused in 2023, it doesn't mean that those processes will be abused in 2026. What you need to do is to follow the law. Proxy voting, our rules and regulations, how you do proxy voting. Per our constitution, any CI 127, they govern our elections. It's Obin to make us say abuse the system no the last time because of that when the law says that proxy vote is allowed, voting by proxy is allowed by the constitution. It's not just me I'm a delegate election day no or some few days to election no na me da nyame na bia na me yare na me bia
yeah this one I'm running today
me team call police here and vote Emrama me can say make me obi I make trust on to money because I want to vote for somebody.
Yeah.
Emrama me say but when you say based on the law, even law no need be no why who you are doing say you will not allow it. I think it's against the law. Oshe make it way Public Elections Regulations 2020 CI 127. And Oshe voting regulation 25. Voting by proxy. Say 25:1 says a registered voter who due to ill health will not be able to vote on the polling day, or B is absent from the constituency and will be unable to vote on polling day or he is absent from the constituency or near around, may not less than 42 days before the poll in the constituency apply to the returning officer of the constituency or to the commission, that is in the general election canon, for the name of the registered voter to be entered on the proxy list. 2. The applicant shall complete a proxy form as set out in Form 6 of the schedule. There's a form. Forms, Now, the applicant shall complete proxy form as set out in Form 6 of the schedule. 3. The returning officer or representative of the commission shall endorse the proxy form and distribute it as follows. A. That's 3A. The original of the returning officer of the constituency where the applicant wishes the proxy to vote. The duplicate or copy of the commission. The duplicate copy to the person appointed as proxy, and the quadruplicate copy to the applicant. Now, the way I obey it. So if you are voting in an election, these are law no set up procedure for we over fail. So if in 2023 say if they do not follow this procedure to do it, it means that they didn't follow the law. But 2026 no, nepa na oye in charge no, me jiniti say oye lawyer kesiye. Omo ye part of election committee, any ono kwa na lawyer. In fact, lawyers can omo nyina name said they conduct elections. So based on this, if you say you want to allow proxy, you follow what is in the CI, so that oye bibia ubia parties ni na beti as a proxy list no way this is a proxy list, and they can verify the list before election day. No nyina ti ase say also you will not allow proxy. I think that is against the rules and laws of this country. And me say if I'm a delegate, say you not say bibi bana say me nick around no outside Ghana now far away the election, there will not be in my area to vote. And you are preventing me from getting a proxy. I think I may have the remedy. I may find a remedy in the law. Say me make us say what deny me the opportunity to vote, and that may the person may take the party on. Is that what we want? I think the petitions have been sent to the committee, and now Oma examine petitions, and they so insist to say they will not be proxy. Because you see proxy no no mati say kofobi ewo aspirants in be and no more call for say they were jubilating. Said they have been able to stop a rigging machinery. So people were going to use the proxy to steal for Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. Peter, proxy list no eyana nipa na ye proxy eyana ye saying. Less than 1%. Nansaya print by election. based on the laws of the country, we allow proxy. And yeah, they are no cry, no Peter, no anyone can. Yeah, they are no cry. We allowed it to proxy. Why is it that public election, and by the way, political party elections, only now can public elections?
Yeah, public elections, yes.
Political party elections are all public elections.
That's why easy.
That's why easy to conduct it. And that's why they say this law regulates public election. Why are you jettisoning this law, this regulation, to do what you want to do? Because somebody can say, complain, say, you say, when there's a procedure. There's a procedure where you use this is how you are doing it. Why do you want to prevent people from voting? Now, if you say you want to bring peace, what of the other side? Say nipa knows or prevent them from using protests and that's a more penny. Does it bring peace? Will it bring peace?
No.
So I say it's not too late. I don't know whether it is a circumstance or more decision here, circumstance but I think that the party will have to sit. Maybe they should call a national council meeting to look at it. If it is agreed by the national council, say this is the way we want to go, then everybody will understand. Because when the national council takes a decision, it will be binding on everybody. Now, national executive committee are communicating to everybody, so there will be a better say we will not do closing voting. So there will be a better say yes sir, when it's a recipe for disaster. Now, me election way there. Man say among for be a job social media or more say because notice a spokesperson for many opinion Canada Japan we see quite say once Peter draw my attention to it.
Yeah, he said it on say once
stop closing DMB Dr. Mahmoud Balmia will not get even 40%. No, me say.
When was I feel baby no na fikiri ntimi ma abontin.
Say obekọ no primaries wo the coincidence no ye share o baby me caution no. Say ya no kasa ye.
Say no owini ko ye onya Peter voice no onya sen.
Come on say ye o dey.
Na ye.
All right.
Enya you agro for.
No.
31st January so na.
MPP for any mistakes. Peter.
Yes.
When I pent him. Aye we ni uncle.
Say ya phone. President. You see, sometimes adebako etimi ma essay adwumapa ebia na ekubi anase adwumakubi eye. Ura do wise ne committee no omabo adwuma papa
me MPO
ewurade na me me jini di pa o
me ni papa
and that is why
Joe wise
even though Prezi no a bit problematic no I'm tempted to believe say ebia o nyina so bi
yes
oni bibinti a o say o dey yenjai no
enya sa
I think o say
because we law no oni mu tiasie
na o ye firm
ebia obi person dey cause confusion
on person so
he is somebody and he's meticulous
say on hwe say yemfa bibi mfa bone
yes
and I'm sure say bia so omo the national council pa the wise will go and argue why
but yes
why yes what
because suspect say won be
yenim but ultimately fan to abontere what I say and I trust him I trust the wise obey a good job for this country what is already the register no 2 months, more than 2 months to election time. They are aspirants. A copy. The last time when you bought JFK mo okuma abasono.
Yeah.
This time, but a human does because this time we are the count. Former executives near the Bimukra be much to be move. Our matima company na record time. For the first time, 2 months to election time yɛde a copy ama aspirant ɔmo nkɔhwɛ mu na deɛ obiara pɛ sɛ ɔwɔ bi a ɔnready before time so far nso yɛde ma ɔmo obiara mɛka A or B which I say it tells you the kind of worker the wise in the committee no ɔmo yɛ na members no so yɛ nkɔfo a menyi ni sɛ obi bɛhwɛ sɛ bibi ento twema NDC for na ɔmo kɔyɛ ɔmo election refi President Mahama ne Dr. Dufo
Kojo Teni Ajoa
no kwampo na Dufo mu de a week to time kwa nemfa register no kwama Dr. Dufo
say omo ne say Kojo
issue
Ajoa
me say omo report no e copy bi an na me hwehwe a me ko hu ye wo hwa time na issues are na Dr. Dufo raise in the end Ojaima ni kaye no to the extent say voter to register no so wo Daasebre a ne de oba anim na aboso udia na ye de awudia abeche ase o weji ni na de court as ono wo hwe ne na a week to time na the same kind already 54 of the delegates no photo album no identities yet to be validated 28% of the delegate list on the man no now omo exception list with no information 2% of the names additionally added onto the register 26% of the delegates are missing from the register duplicated photos duplicated voter IDs numbers for the president of so 46% of the register no they cannot be validated with voter ID, party ID, photos, gender, age just say time yet yes I election I'm almost Dr. Dufo nya say 2% obi also obi a wo draw it is the wise who committee na ye juma so for them to because clearly how do I can see and in fact the CI no so no it take ne a draw ne from the constitution that article 55 of the 1990 up to 51 the electoral commission shall by constitutional instruments make regulations for the effective performance of its function under this constitution or any other law. So the regulation now I would go to you know, the 127 it taking a from the constitution. So in any case
said we see lawyer
but why national election go into process there's no election no election mention no country because the anticipation the diaspora more broaching go so Ghana akura no election dey constituency be quite e bi adan meya juma wa ha mi so obi nkonti obi ni ye bi ofie
ojinadi
onto the be out and so you have obi akeke
and the person must be a delegate in this instance
it is a koba say wo say ebi ma teaching say abuse ni say ebi mu frefre nkofo say fa bajiska na farmer me na metro ma o de member and we still who metro ma
now we see
this thing can be cured by MPP cannot cure such stupid or administrative mistakes among for
how are you going to even confirm say obi become obi say
I'm saying say the MPP is such a big party
law that's not even law
yes there's no election where there's no proxy nowhere
but you see Peter send your car no
na me say ni nyina echi no and ebio my last point say my last point political parties no sometimes oma a way of doing their own things and for those who may be hurt by this decision they should understand that sometimes parties no e dey marathon chain okay 53
yes
and man say or say come say there will be a winner
but the party met
and decided say yama baako nko na baako nyai.
That is why I say they should hold a national council meeting or any national executive meeting. National council will be the best.
So we take a decision.
Second highest decision making of the party.
Okay, to support what the device is decision making.
So that based on ABCD, more for now, so that omo agitates it will assuage their feelings.
Yes.
Okay, party na kasadia and they let's all sacrifice.
Yeah, because the party sometimes forgo Emrano.
Exactly.
NDC.
No, even the NPP constitution allows that.
Yes.
They can waive.
Yeah. I mean, NDC Ketunov, Adam Agbana Omuko, there was a tie. I said, go to Amuko, Adam Unko.
Because the party took it. But if you leave it to the election committee in Kwan, they never have powers to do what they are.
Oh, okay, yes, I understand. So, but if it's extended to the National
Council or National Executive Committee, then everybody will understand. So, okay, for the sake of unity and peace of this, let's all allow. And maybe there will be a way to facilitate those who want to do prosy to be able to vote.
Yes.
There will be a way to facilitate one council making a vote too. That's all.
Okay. Nti asumdwe ma so far nse nyoma aba form kaka. Me bomb pa last week can say 31st ni kura amra metwam ntem.
All right. Everything for better be the end of pay. Say Mabu Amadumedino, I am successful. Professor Agyei, or Dean, Faculty of Accounting and Finance, UPSC, no executive director.